Long ago, in a quiet valley of southern China, two villages faced each other across a wide river. They shared the same sun, the same rain, and even the same festivals, yet for generations they had been enemies. No one remembered how the conflict began. Some said it started over stolen livestock. Others claimed it was about land or pride. Whatever the reason, the hatred had lasted so long that it became tradition. Children were taught not to speak to anyone from the other side. Fishermen glared at each other from their boats. Even when storms flooded the valley and both villages suffered, no one would cross the river to help. And so the two villages lived side by side, close in distance, but worlds apart in heart. One spring morning, a traveling carpenter arrived in the valley. He was an old man with a kind face and tools worn smooth from years of work. He stopped at the house of a farmer from the eastern village. The farmer was known for his temper, quick to shout, slow to forgive. He had just returned from an argument with his neighbor on the opposite bank. "Build me a fence," the farmer said angrily. "I want it high and strong so I'll never have to look at those people again." The carpenter nodded slowly. "I see," he said. "A fence, yes, to keep them away." The farmer handed him the wood, the nails, and left him to his work. For 2 days, the carpenter worked in silence. The sound of his hammer echoed across the valley. Tap, tap, tap. The farmer didn't watch. He didn't care. He just wanted the wall finished so he could forget his anger. When the third day came, the farmer walked down to see the progress and froze. There was no fence. Instead, stretching across the river, stood a beautiful wooden bridge. The sunlight danced on its surface, and the gentle flow of the river sparkled below. The farmer shouted, "What have you done? I told you to build a fence!" Before the carpenter could answer, the farmer's neighbor from the other side began to walk across. He was holding his hat nervously, his face soft with shame. "My friend," he said quietly, "after all these years, I didn't think you'd be the one to reach out first. But I'm glad you did." The farmer blinked. His anger melted like snow in the sun. He hesitated, then took a step onto the bridge. The two men met in the middle, not as enemies, but as neighbors who had finally remembered their humanity. The carpenter smiled, gathered his tools, and began to leave. "Stay," the farmer called. "There's much more work for you to do." But the old man shook his head. "I have more bridges to build elsewhere," he said. And with that, he disappeared down the path. In time, the bridge changed everything. Children from both villages crossed it to play together. Merchants traded goods and laughter. The festivals grew twice as large. Twice as bright, the villagers realized that the river had never truly divided them. It was their fear, pride, and silence that had built the real walls. The bridge became more than wood and rope. It became a symbol of something far stronger: connection, a reminder that one act of kindness can undo generations of bitterness. Centuries have passed since that carpenter walked away, but his bridge still stands in spirit inside all of us. Today, our villages have different names, opinions, beliefs, nations, screens. We build invisible fences every day, unfriending, unfollowing, blocking, shouting across digital rivers that grow wider with every post. We live surrounded by noise, but rarely hear each other. We fight to be right, but forget how to be kind. We stand on opposite sides of the same human river, the river of fear, misunderstanding, and pride. The old carpenter's lesson is simple but urgent. You can't build peace with fences. You build it with bridges. In your own life, a bridge might be a conversation you've been avoiding, a message you've been too proud to send, or simply the courage to listen to someone you disagree with. Because the truth is, no one wins when we stay divided. But when anyone, decides to build instead of break, a new world quietly begins to form. So the next time you feel the distance between you and another, remember the carpenter who chose connection over walls. And maybe, just maybe, the first bridge the world needs is the one inside your heart.